Tom here, FlipAnything USA. Here on my channel, FlipAnything USA, I show how I've made my real estate fortune, buying and selling real estate. Sometimes that includes fix-ups and repairs and reparations, kind of like what I'm doing today. And other times it's just about making deals and contracts. I've been doing it since I was 19, made a lot of money. I made my first million by age 28, and that was a long time ago. And I've made many, many times that since then. And I continue to do the same thing that I've done back then as I do today, except I got a lot more cash, and sometimes I can pay cash for property. But in the beginning, I couldn't do any of that. Back on my fix-up 5-house project, got this house, got this one across the street. So these three, I got another one, caddy corner on the other side of the block. Beautiful, all beautiful like this, big, giant, beautiful trees. So today we're gonna build some fences. That's about $1,500 worth of material. What I opted to do this time is, this is good looking stuff. This is green board. We call it green board. It's kind of weatherproof. That's why it's green. Water resistant. I don't really like cedar. It's too soft. I like redwood, but it's too expensive. Anyhow, we've already got all the posts set that you see here. And I got Beto and Mondo over there. They're shooting their lines, and what they're doing is we're trying to keep this 6 foot or less. 6 foot or less. That's code. Keeps it 6 foot or less. If you go higher than that, you gotta, I mean, obviously I could get, your neighbor's gotta agree, which I own both houses, so it's agreed, but I'm not gonna go over 6 foot. I'm gonna keep it at 6 foot or just under. So Beto's shooting his, surveying and shooting his lines here. The weather isn't very conducive for shooting with the laser for some reason. Can't see the laser marks. But anyhow, so he's gonna make his marks, cut these posts down. Hey Beto, can you grab like 2 or 3 boards? Let's just show everybody what we're doing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cap this thing like you see there. So you can see he'll start stacking it. We're gonna go for a little different style fence, a little more modern looking. This is going to be more expensive than a typical cedar fence like you see way out there. And we'll throw some stain on this and it'll look great. And then let's go ahead and hold that one up. In the end, the cap's gonna look real nice too, because that's gonna be basically the finish, what you see there at the top. These guys are gonna get themselves laid out and then they're just gonna blast away. It'll nail up very quickly. It's been about an hour, and checked on Mom at the senior home and checked on the commercial property, and you can see the fence is growing. So we got 16 footers here. And yeah, you know, Beto, it's fine. If that's it, that's fine. So putting up the fence, things are looking good. We got random lengths. When you get rough lumber, sometimes, you know, 16 foot doesn't mean 16 foot right on the mark. It could be a 1/4 inch over or under. That happens. So we had a couple of those, but no big deal. But you can see how this is looking, and looks really sharp. And when we put some stain on there, it'll look even better. It's funny, it doesn't look that green. That's actually green board, but it doesn't look that green. So checking on the progress, just finished my jiu-jitsu class. I'm not sure why they stopped, other than it was lunchtime. I'm still finishing lunch, but it's looking good. It's looking good. I like the look. When we stain it, it'll look even better. We got kind of a funny situation over here on the trees, and this happens. You can see down the tree line here. I don't know if you can see, but you can see the post in the distance down here. And then you got this one here. So we got a conflict with the fence here. We're gonna try to kind of angle it out. You'll see when we're done, but I think we got a good solution. But it's looking good. It's gonna make this backyard look a lot nicer, more privacy. Yeah, it's just gonna look a lot nicer. Now, even though technically that property over there, I mean, I own both, that one and I own this one. This property is more valuable to me. I think it's worth more, and I want that property to look good from the street. So this is visible. So it makes this property look better from the street, from the outside, because this will wrap around and the exterior will be like this. This is what we call the finished side of the fence. Usually the good side of the fence, whoever pays for it gets the good side of the fence. That's kind of how it works. But in this case, there's no conflict. If I own that property, maybe I'd do it differently. I don't know. But I'm happy the way it looks. It's gonna look sharp. But it really enhances this giant yard. It's just gonna look pretty after we get it all stained up. And last board of this bunch. We were talking about A lot of times we'd end up staggering these, but really kind of like the clean lines where the seam is here. So that's how we're doing it this time. But a lot of times we'd probably just stagger them left and right, but keeping the lines. Otherwise what you'd see is every other one would be staggered like bricks. See how look over at the bricks. See how the bricks are staggered? Well, we can do that also here. And it makes it little bit more uniform and straight overall, to be honest, but I kind of like the lines here, so we'll see. All right, so the fence is coming along very well. Guys are moving along really quick. So me and Beto were looking at this, Mondo, and let's show them the conflicts. Everything's looking cool here. We've got, the fence is gonna fill in nicely here, but you can see the conflict begin to hit here. As you look down, you don't see a post beyond that post anymore, and that's because it's behind that tree right here. So we think we got a cool workaround on that. So we have the same conflict here with this post. You can see the post. In other words, if I stay on the outside, this is our finished side. See the finished side there? That would continue all the way to that post there, but we got a tree in the way. So we got a nice workaround on that. Let's show them what we're gonna do. Mondo, can you come over and hold this in? We just set it on here. So what you see here is what we're gonna do is we're gonna nail on here, just like expected. We're gonna go back behind the tree, and then we're gonna cut this off here on the back side, okay? And then keep holding that. And then what we're gonna do is we'll pick up this side. Got that wedge in there? Oh, good. So you see, and then what we'll do is we'll pick this up. So this will cut off flush here, this will cut off flush here, and it'll still have the appearance, as you look at it, it's gonna look finished all the way, even though we're kind of reversing it on one side. It's gonna look pretty slick. So I'm happy about that. All right, so you can see we're doing the workaround on this tree. So normally where we would be nailing this board here on the back side to get around this tree, we're doing it on the front side. But in the end, it's gonna look cool. It's gonna look fine. So anyhow, you can see what I was talking about. We had to kind of do a half reverse here and bring the finished side on this side. But that was in order to get around this tree. But it's gonna be cool because we're gonna come back in this way and take it back and do the same and put a full finished side on this side. All right, it's following day. I thought it was gonna rain, but we've been lucky. You can see the fence is coming along. We're getting to the front now, this front portion. That's looking good. And what we did is we went from the finished side on that side and brought it over, made this a finished side. And then we picked up again on this, but the appearance is gonna be a finished side. Take a look down that way. I got a gate in front of me, so I can't get through. But you can see we got a finished look all the way down. Back on the fence job, and you can see it's coming along. We're gonna do the gates last. I'm not gonna worry about carrying this video through the gate process, but the gates will match the fence. You can see coming down the side here. Looks pretty sharp. Much better. Much more curb appeal than no fence or a crappy little chain link. We'll take a look at the gate. Did you put a cross brace in there to stiffen it up too, or?
I'm gonna put a cable in.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got a little kit. That's cool. Oh, I like that. So this is something that's new to me. Tell me about this gate kit. Tell me about this gate kit. I've never seen one.
Well, it's just a prefab gate. We have to kind of Frankenstein it a little bit. We have to add these up because instead of putting the pickets up and down like they usually supposed to go.
Oh, it's a little backwards for it.
Yeah, so I added this.
Yeah. Okay, if you didn't follow him, what he's talking about is typically the fences run this way, and that's how this little gate kit he bought was set up, was to handle stuff this way. So he added these extensions because we're running the stuff horizontally. And that looks good, man. That looks great. That looks great. And I don't imagine you're going to use the same thing on the other side.
Yeah, though. You can. These are adjustable. So these will extend up to 6 feet, and then opening over there's 12. So I bought 2 other ones, and I'm gonna use those. And then right here on the larger gates, you can attach a cable.
Good, yeah, that's important.
So that I don't think I'm gonna use it here, but I'll use it on those other ones because this is already sturdy.
Yeah.
I'll use it on the bigger ones, on the ones that are extended.
What we're talking about, a lot of times you run a cable diagonally. You'd run it from, in this case, you'd run it from this top side down to the bottom because the bottom will sag. So to keep the bottom from sagging, you tighten up the other way. Getting backwards here. You tighten up the cable this way from the bottom up to this top, and it lifts that in case, because this tends to sag. That way it keeps everything in line up here. And what he was talking about on the other is that because this extends here, and this can be up to 6 feet wide. On the other side, I'll show you, we've got, I'm putting in a double gate, something, left and right open so you can pull a car through. You can see it's pretty wide opening. And so, and that's what's great, when you get to a point in your investing that you can actually keep a full-time guys like I do. I have a whole crew, and I have subs that when we get too busy or we have more work than these guys can handle, I have other, framers and all kinds of different trades that come in. So, but he found that kit. He just, he has a charge card. He buys whatever he needs, and I pay the bills, of course. So on this one here, what he's talking about is this is going to be a split gate in the middle here, and he'll put a kit on each side, and it'll be a nice, clean, good looking gate. And maybe I will come back and shoot that later. But Tom here back on the fixing up of the houses to sell, the fence job, and you can see it's looking pretty good. Got a gate. We still got to put some gate hardware on here, but you can see it's pretty nice. I don't usually run them horizontal like this. Yeah, let's see if they finished that. Yep. And they did the cut around over there. That jog we did around the tree over here. You can see how it finished out. This angles back and catches the back of this post here. And so anyhow, it appears to, looks good. Very, very pleased. All looks pretty good. Got plenty of room around the tree. We still got plenty of privacy. So that looks good. So like I say, these fences, they really are just kind of like framing a picture because it's going around your property. I've actually got some ideas. I got this chain link going around this one here. And this is a really awesome corner. Really, really awesome. And so I may do a variation of this fence around this whole place. I might do like a little ranch style, where you got like 3 with an air gap between. So you can see there's the corner. Looks good. Now I'm going to go to the other side where we have a double gate. So what's nice about this house, it's got a little driveway. See this here? It's cut in. And so I'm going to go ahead and utilize, you can see the driveway behind me. And so now we got a double gate right here. We got it kind of snug. But let's just look for the appearance. You can see it looks great. I guess I can push it open. Well, pretty tight. You don't want to force it. Look on this side, so you see here. So you can see, looks pretty sharp. And I'll probably stain it kind of a light, kind of like the darkest bunch here. A little darker than that. But I'll stain this up, and it'll make it look all complete. And this part is done. This house is going to get painted. So anyways, be sure to get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's the #1 new release on Kindle and Amazon. And for $10, like I say, for the price of a beer, you can get my book. It's been received well, and it's pretty much the same information I've been putting out on this video blog for some time, except it's kind of concentrated. It's actually a course. It really is a course on how to make money in real estate. Pretty much showing exactly how I've done it. Putting the realtor sign back in. But so that's it. Be sure to share and subscribe.